Threat to Missouri abortion clinic leaves neighboring providers scrambling. Dr. Erin King felt a weight lift off her shoulders, at least for a few minutes. The executive director of Hope Clinic in Granite City, Illinois had spent a week scrambling to prepare for an influx of patients from St. Louis, just about a 10-minute drive across the Mississippi River as Missouri threatened to close its last legal abortion provider by the end of the week at midnight. In a ruling Friday afternoon, Circuit Judge Michael Stelzer a temporary restraining order keeping Missouri from allowing the St. Louis Planned Parenthood's license to expire. It didn't remove the stress for King, but it at least allowed her staff, and Planned Parenthood officials in Missouri a few more days to prepare for the worst. "It does not give me comfort," King said of the ruling Friday afternoon. "But it is good news. Abortion rights in Missouri have been under aggressive attack for more than 2 years now. But earlier this month, the state has also been using administrative maneuvering to stamp out abortion here," women's rights advocates say. The Department of Health. If the St. Louis Planned Parenthood were to be closed for the procedure, Missouri would become the first state in the country in close to 50 years without a legal abortion provider. That would force clinics. Illinois has passed legislation to expand abortion access, a move cheered by King, who finds herself straddling two different worlds. "We're sitting literally on this cusp of what could potentially be one of the worst days for abortion rights in this region, and one of the best separated by a river," King said. Anticipating attacks on abortion rights, the Hope Clinic has already doubled the number of its doctors, increased its staff, and added additional appointment days to its schedule to accommodate the influx in patients. But the latest wave of threats against reproductive rights has been scary and put both staff and patients on edge, King said in an interview. "We've seen a significant increase in patient stress in the last 2 weeks, King said in her office. "It is very clear, Hope Clinic is located near a large healthcare campus on the ragged edge of this manufacturing town. On the sidewalk inside the busy clinic, King has fostered a calming presence. She comes off as she's good at brushing off the anti-abortion demonstrators who gather outside the clinic on a near-daily basis. She's good at Still, even King is exasperated by Republican attacks on reproductive rights, so much so that she has, at times, considered leaving Missouri. I feel like I am dehumanized," she said. "We're going backward." Ultimately, Judge Stelzer granted the St. Louis Planned Parenthood a temporary stay in what Eisenberg said in a press conference outside the clinic Friday was for Missourians. A massive banner for abortion rights supporters outside the clinic Friday. The judge's ruling was merely temporary breathing room, and provided little relief. "The fight's not over," said Peg O'Malley, who stood outside the clinic holding a sign reading "Pro-Choice Catholic." "It's just unbelievable," another Planned Parenthood supporter, Kathy Turner, said outside the embattled clinic. She was there with her. "It's not clear what will ultimately happen to the clinic. Stelzer ruled, but it's not yet clear what its fate will be past Tuesday, when another hearing is scheduled. Even if it is allowed, this is a crisis," King said. "This is happening.
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. I get fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.